It's summertime, the time that you have been waiting for all year. I know that you have been eagerly awaiting the opportunity to have your children home with you for 2 whole months. You can cook for them and have an endless amount of opportunities to show your children how much you love them. Take trips and do all type of family activities. But before we get started having too much fun, let's talk about loss of knowledge over the summer. Did you know that it is possible for your children to lose some of the knowledge that they have worked so hard to gain throughout the school year? Let's chit chat. Summer break. For these 2 months, your children will have freedom, fun, and the opportunity to forget the year that's behind them. While the students are off enjoying their well deserved time off, something called summer learning loss might be quietly happening. Summer learning loss, sometimes called the summer slide, refers to the decline in academic skills and knowledge that can occur during long breaks from school. This phenomenon has been documented by researchers for decades, with studies showing students can lose between 2 to 3 months of learning over the summer break. Out of all the skills that your children have obtained throughout the school year, guess which one of their skills they lose the most of? Math. Students lose an average of 2.6 months of grade level equivalency during long breaks. Some students are able to maintain their levels of reading, while others experience significant decline. This is especially true for children that had trouble in the area of reading and they were just beginning to pick up their skills before the summer break took place. Once summertime comes and they are no longer practicing those reading skills, they will find that when they return to school that they have fallen back and will need to do quite a bit of catching up to get back to where they were before the break started. Science and social studies also tends to fade without reinforcement. It's not that kids become less intelligent over the summer. It's that without practice and reinforcement, those neural pathways that were built during the school year start to weaken. It's kind of like physical fitness. If you stop exercising for 3 months, you're going to notice that your strength and endurance starts to decline. The same principle applies to academic skills. There are studies that show that students' brains actually change during extended breaks from learning. Areas that are associated with mathematical reasoning and reading comprehension show decreased activation when students return to school after summer. While summer learning loss affects all students, the impact isn't equal across all populations. Students from lower income families often experience greater losses. These children will find that they lose up to 3 months of learning compared to middle class students who might lose only 1 month or sometimes even gain ground. The gap between these two groups comes from several different factors. The first factor that affects this gap of people is the access to resources. Families with higher incomes can afford summer camps, tutoring, educational trips, and have home libraries. They're also more likely to have parents with flexible work schedules who can provide educational supervision. The summer opportunity gap is real. While some children spend summers at science camps, visiting museums, or traveling to educational destinations, others may lack these enrichment opportunities. Some students might not have access to books at home, reliable internet for educational programs, or even adequate nutrition that supports growth function. We see what we call the faucet theory during the school year. All students have access to the educational faucet that's turned on. But in summer, for some students, that faucet gets turned off completely, while for others, It keeps flowing through camps, travel, and family resources. Grade level also matters. Younger students, particularly those in elementary school, tend to experience more significant learning loss than older students. High school students often have more independence in maintaining their learning, while elementary students depend heavily on structured environments and adult guidance. Additionally, students with learning differences or those who are already struggling academically are at higher risk for summer learning loss. Without the consistent support systems provided during the school year, these students may fall even further behind. The effects of summer learning loss compound over time. By the end of elementary school, the cumulative impact can represent years of lost learning. A study following students from kindergarten through fifth grade found that summer learning loss accounted for approximately 2/3 of the achievement gap between higher and lower income students. It's not just about one summer, it's about the cumulative effect of multiple forms. And then to top it off, it's not that it's just one summer. The student is losing this information over one summer. This issue is a cumulative one, meaning that every year your students are losing months of education during the summer. So that means that not only is the student trying to catch up from this year's loss, the student is also trying to regain the loss that it suffered for last year and the year before that and the year before that. By the time a student reaches middle school, they have essentially lost up to 1 year. This impacts students' confidence, engagement, and long-term academic trajectories. Every year at the beginning of the school year, teachers have to spend a significant amount of time on reteaching information that was lost over the summer. The time that it takes for the teachers to reteach this information is valuable time that the students could be using in the classroom to learn new content and to delve deeper into their studies. But here's the encouraging news. Summer learning loss is entirely preventable. Research shows that students who engage in educational activities during summer break not only maintain their skills, but often continue to grow academically. The key is keeping young minds active and engaged through what researchers call purposeful learning experiences. Purposeful learning experiences are experiences that you can implement for your children to make sure that they are getting some educational type content or getting some type of practice out of the activities that they are doing. This doesn't mean recreating a classroom environment at home, but rather finding authentic, meaningful ways to apply and expand knowledge. Some parents make learning a part of summer adventures. Cooking together teaches math and science because the children are measuring ingredients, understanding chemical reactions when they bake, and things of that nature. Our nature walks become biology lessons where we identify plants and discuss ecosystems. Reading before bed also keeps skills sharp. The most effective summer learning happens when it's woven naturally into enjoyable activities. Students who read just 4 to 6 books over the summer can maintain or even improve their reading levels. Those who engage in math-related activities for just 15 minutes a day can prevent math skill decline. Studies from Johns Hopkins University show that students in high-quality summer programs can gain up to 3 months of learning, effectively turning potential loss into significant gain. The secret isn't intensity, it's consistency and engagement. Let's explore specific research-backed strategies to keep learning alive during summer break. Reading is the single most important activity for preventing summer learning loss, but it's not just about quantity, it's about engagement and choice. When children choose their own books based on their interests, they're much more likely to stay engaged. A reluctant reader who's passionate about dinosaurs will devour dinosaur books, building both reading skills and content knowledge. Reading different genres, fiction, nonfiction, graphic novels, poetry, connecting books to real experiences through field trips or projects, writing activities like journals, stories, or book reviews, all contribute to maintaining your child's reading consistency. Calculating discounts, sports statistics, scorekeeping, measuring distances, home improvement projects, measurement and geometry, home improvement projects, measurement and geometry, problem solving, planning trips, time and distance budgeting, games involving numbers, spades, strategy and logic. Summer science learning is about nurturing curiosity and the scientific method. When a child wonders why some rocks are smooth and others rough at the beach, that's the beginning of geological inquiry. When they notice different plants growing in different environments, that's ecological thinking. Gardening, plant biology, ecology, weather patterns, nature observation and collection, classification data recording. Creative learning includes creative writing, stories, poetry, journals, scripts. Visual arts, drawing, painting, sculpture, digital design. Music, learning instruments, composing, analyzing songs. Drama, acting, puppet shows, storytelling. Digital creation, video making, website building, coding basics, crafts that involve planning, measuring, and problem solving. Individual families shouldn't bear the responsibility for preventing summer learning loss. Communities play a crucial role in providing equitable access to educational opportunities. Libraries can be used as learning hubs. Libraries offer several opportunities for students to continue learning. Public libraries have evolved into comprehensive learning centers, offering far more than just books. Modern library summer offerings include reading challenges with incentives and community recognition, STEM programs with hands-on experiments, and maker spaces, cultural programs celebrating diversity and global awareness, technology classes teaching digital literacy and coding homework help, and tutoring services. Family literacy programs supporting teens and children together. Modern library summer offerings include reading challenges with incentives and community recognition, STEM programs with hands-on experiments and maker spaces, cultural programs celebrating diversity and global awareness, technology classes teaching digital literacy and coding, homework help, and tutoring services, family literacy programs supporting children and family together. Effective summer learning requires collaboration between multiple community organizations. Successful communities create networks including museums offering educational camps and workshops, parks and recreation departments providing active learning, nonprofit organizations focusing on specific populations or skills, businesses offering mentorship and real-world learning experience, faith-based organizations providing safe spaces and programming, higher education institutions opening their resources to younger students. While preventing learning loss is important, summer should remain a time for rest, play, and family connection. The most effective summer learning happens when it's balanced with downtime, physical activity, and social development. One child development expert stated that playing isn't the opposite of learning. It's one of the most powerful forms of learning. When children engage in unstructured play, they develop creativity, social skills, problem solving, abilities, and emotional regulation. These are just as important as academic skills. Research shows that children need significant amounts of unstructured time to develop independence and self-direction, practice social skills and conflict resolution, explore interests and develop passions, process experiences and integrate learning, rest and recharge for optimal brain function. Physical activity directly impacts cognitive function and academic performance. Students who stay physically active during summer return to school with better focus, memory, and learning capacity. Summer is the perfect time to establish healthy movement habits. Summer provides unique opportunities for social and emotional development through mixed age play experiences. Family bonding and traditions, community involvement and service, independence and responsibility building, cultural exploration and appreciation, resilience building through challenges and adventures. Knowing the importance of summer learning is one thing, successfully putting it in place is another. Here are practical strategies for making summer learning sustainable and enjoyable. The key to intentional flexibility is when you plan structure, leave plenty of room for spontaneous learning and relaxation. Overscheduling can create summer stress that defeats the purpose. Effective summer planning includes creating a loose routine that includes learning time, setting reasonable, achievable goals, building in flexibility for weather, mood, and opportunities, involving children in planning and increased buy-in, preparing backup activities for different situations, celebrating progress and effort, not just achievement. The most successful summer learning doesn't feel like schoolwork. It feels like exploration, discovery, and fun. Strategies for engagement include following children's natural interests and curiosity, providing choices in activities and approaches, connecting learning to real-world applications, incorporating technology thoughtfully, creating challenges and competitions, sharing the excitement of discovery, addressing common challenges. Every family faces obstacles to summer learning. Here's how to address common challenges. For working parents, utilize community resources, create learning kits for caregivers, and maximize quality time during evenings and weekends. For reluctant learners, focus on high interest topics, use game based approaches, and celebrate small victories. For families with limited resources, take advantage of free community programs, use library resources extensively, and explore low-cost DIY activities. For managing multiple children, create multi-level activities, encourage peer teaching, and rotate individual attention. Summer learning loss is real, but it's not inevitable. With a little creativity and intentionality, we can help students return to school ready to build on what they've learned, not struggle to remember it. Because learning never really stops. It just takes different forms. Thank you so much for watching this content, and I hope that you find it valuable. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.